And then lastly, I was thinking I get my best thought done when I'm working out. When I'm in the gym, I got both my headphones on, my music is blaring, just kind of to myself. I was wondering how you teach, and I've wondered this for years. Initiative. How do you teach initiative? Can you teach it? Because I've been trying a whole lot. And I think it directly correlates with the accountability piece, right? The good initiative, bad judgment type thing causes people to not take initiative. Right. I dealt with that again very recently in my last job. That's what it was. There was zero accountability. Come to find out, looking back, there was zero initiative, which right back to complacency. See how all these things they all tie together to mission fail is where that place is going. But they all tie together. Every single one of them play a part. Leadership traits and leadership principles for the Marine Corps. Other service, I know you have your core values and your traits and principles, something similar. We all have them. You look up leadership traits, you Google it, you're going to get a whole bunch of them. Some will be similar to your branch of service, some will be brand new ones. They're all good, right? They're all good, but not just to have them and look at them and read them and like Marines in boot camp, memorize them. You have to execute, execute, execute. You have to actually be able to execute those. And again, a big failure in the last place I just left. No execution whatsoever. Zero. None. Those are three things we're going to be talking about. And then Sunday show. Really kind of want to recap on Sunday show. Uh, so first and foremost, who's here? Producer, you're gonna have to tell me who's here because I'm not looking at anything. So we'll see who shows up. Everybody, welcome. Who's here? What are you drinking? Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from? Where are you watching from? All right. I got some cold coffee this time. It's been one of those days. Cold coffee. I did get a workout this morning. I didn't run because I'm going to run, hit the pavement. I remember I talked about it a while ago. I did that 5K on Marine Corps Base Hawaii. It was cool, but it kicked my butt because I had been doing the elliptical on base or in the gym. It's a little easier. Still getting a 30, 45 minute where I even went 50 minutes one day on the elliptical is completely different from 30 minutes on the pavement. So I've been telling myself I got to hit the pavement. I got to hit the pavement while I still can. Knock on wood. I'm not fast. You already know I'm not. I don't have a runner's body. I'm not built for running, but I just absolutely love to do it. Again, that's that time. Put my earbuds in, crank up some Metallica, and just go like Forrest Gump. I just feel like running, and I just run, and that's where right. I think of content, think how what ways we can better serve our community, what we can do to continue to move forward. Uh, so I'm doing that here in a little bit once it gets a little cooler, but all part of the workout. Nothing wrong with 2 days. Remember, the only bad workout is the one that didn't happen. So make it happen. If it's a quick workout, if it's 2 hours, that's what a buddy of mine called me this morning and he texted, said, can you get on a call? I said, nah, I just got to the gym. Give me 2 hours. He's like, 2 hours? What are you going to do in the gym for 2 hours? Again, I'm not the fastest, so I just kind of mosey around in between sets, right? Change the music on my phone, hit the sauna. Love sitting in the sauna. Not sure if the benefits completely of a sauna. It just again, it's a nice way to end the workout. Just that solace sweat. It's good to go. All right. So once again, welcome SFMF Live Wednesday. We've missed a Wednesday, a couple Wednesdays, so hope everyone made it. Hope you're here. We are on StreamYard. Hope that if you're on a drive home, you can just chill with us for the next couple hours, right? If we make it that long and just enjoy the show. If you can comment. Again, the producer's going to have to help me out with comments today. Um, so naval terminology. I like that we use it. Absolutely. And I don't think I realized it all through boot camp what that even meant. Naval terminology. Again, I'm I'm different than most, especially nowadays. People know what they're getting themselves into. If you don't, that's your fault. Because with technology and channels like this, and just numerous ways to get all the information you need at your fingertips, right? Instant gratification. Part of the problem of our youth today, too. Instant gratification. So if you go to boot camp as blindly as I did, that's your fault and shame on you. Do the research, find out. Um, so I didn't understand. Yes, we go by naval terminology. That meant nothing to me, but all of a sudden I knew it's not called a bed anymore. It's now a rack. Um, swab. A mop is a swab. The porthole, the deck, bulkhead, overhead, ladder well instead of stairs. All those little things. I just thought that was a Marine thing. And how crazy is that? Wow. So, so I just adapted and adjusted, just like I assume everyone else would. Uh, we're up. We're up on screen, everybody. I got Kimi Cocoa Pops here. Got Cocoa Pops. Got my back. We're finally on screen. The first person I see is Carrie Ann Marie Potts. So welcome, Carrie Ann Marie. We didn't think we'd be on tonight. Also, we made it, and it came in extra large for me. So it was a shock when I saw it, but we got it. Thank you, production team. All right, this is a team effort. Where's CC number 5? She's going to get on camera, I think, tonight. Maybe we'll see. 2 and 5. We're still waiting. All right, so welcome. Now that I can see comments, actually, they're not moving. Or is Carrie Ann Marie Potts the only one here? Randall Knapp, what's up, brother? Jake Awesome, JD, 777s. We're on different land masses, but we're working it out. Yes, facts. Producer nailed it right there. We are factually on different land masses. Excuse me. All right, so we'll continue, but this is good. Picture's good, sound is good. I didn't even ask. 5x5s. There you go. Now I see Randall. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. We're talking about naval terminology. Yeah. Yes, you are. Unless you low call or go out the window. All right, so naval terminology. Again, I love it. Now that I know, if I knew then, I don't know if it would have made a difference back then in boot camp. Again, those are just things that you learn, and some of the terminology can't go. You can't say it on this channel, right? That's the drill instructor. Males, yep, right there, Randall. That's one of them. Funny, Randall. Funny story. I have a friend. One of my platoon sergeants was named Richard Skinner. If you know, you know. Uh, so that was interesting. But all that naval terminology is still used today. Again, it's been decades for a lot of us, and some of the comments were, I graduated boot camp in 1968, and I still say, you're gonna make a head call, right? Need some chow. All that terminology is something that when you live with for 3 months straight, constantly, and some pretty flowery ones, but they stick with you. For the longest time, and the chow hall used to be different. We talk about that. Napkins were called targets. I remember going all through boot camp, every meal, if you wanted a napkin, you had to raise your hand and say deck private target. There's deck privates, where it was a second phase company, platoon. They're the ones that used to serve the meals, clean up. They did all the work, mess duty we talked about. So for the longest time, I try and get my kids. Some of them did it. I think Kimi Cocoa Puffs was one of them. If they say, "Do you have a napkin?" and they'd have to say "deck private target," and I'd slap one in their hand. So those little things again carry over year after year, decade after decade. Portholes, sticks for crutches. Um, Again, there's so many, and it was a short that it is, so I can only say so many of them. But look at the comments. Watch the short and look at the comments. Bring back some great memories. The other thing with naval terminology and time, military time. Tell me that isn't a blessing in disguise. If you don't know it, learn it. There's no mistaking whatsoever. If you say I'm going to meet you at 04, you know it's 4 in the morning. No doubt in your mind. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the morning. Military time absolutely works. It's not that difficult. 12, you add 12 to every number. Whatever the math is, figure it out and use it. And I can't not use it, right? With civilians, and every now and then I'll remember, I'll put in parentheses, that's 4 a.m. for that, but it helps everything, no doubt whatsoever. Um, excuse me. The and then the Navy uses them 100%. Zulu time. I know Zulu time works as well. That one took a little longer for me to figure out once I got into the staff NCO realm and start in those big meetings. But they use them on patrols as well. Zulu time, military dates, right? Still to this day, just like the Marine Corps does, year, month, day, right? Those different. Some translate over, some don't. I had a buddy in Hawaii, opened up one of those car washes, right? Free vacuuming. He gave me a tour of it and how they use and the soaps, and they use the best water. And we went around into his office, little headquarters area where all the workers work. And I noticed up on the bulkhead, the sign said male head, female head. I was like, oh, bro, I didn't know you were military. He's like, no, I'm not. He said, my dad was, though. He was a Marine, and that's all he ever called it was head. So I carried over to this guy again, civilian, but that just goes to show you it's something that you're ingrained with, like learning a new language. I got to believe that the other services have some, like somebody put on their latrine, Menachem said latrine. No, latrine is army. That is different. Different. Marines call it head or hats, caps. Marine Corps calls them cover, right? Army calls them cap, patrol cap, PC, patrol cap. Um, Navy and Air Force, you got baseball caps and all kinds of different head covering. That's what it is, the cover head. The rain room, shower. I had somebody brought that up. I like that one. So many of them, so many different ones. And then of course, each drill instructor team kind of makes up their own throughout. The scuzz brush races, brush your fangs, right? That's your teeth, get your paw in the air, set your soup cooler. Again, there's so many, so many. It's good stuff. All right. This naval terminology is still used today, and you hear it sometimes when you watch Pete Hegseth. And I've seen him talking to civilians, essentially, or a mixed crowd, and some of it will come out. He's military, right? So some things just never leave you. I had a company gunny who turned out to be our company first sergeant. This was way back, engineer time, Camp Pendleton. His response to everything, like mine is that, his response to everything was kill. And I hope I can say it on here. You know, YouTube is, but everything did. Hey, good morning, first sergeant, kill. All right, I'm gonna take the boys on PT, kill. Hurrah, kill. So much so even like on the phone, or we went on a field op and we had to do some stuff out in town. We met the local police, the local fire department, went to the local grocery store, and in a foreign land. We were in Alaska, of all places, too, southern Alaska. There's no military down there. And he said it like to one lady. She said, "Thank you very much, or you guys have a good day." He said, "Kill." She was totally taken aback. So finally, we're like, first arm. Um, when you're in public, you're around civilians. Maybe curve that Marine terminology just a little bit. So sometimes we do got to remind ourselves. It can get kind of crazy. All right. Ghost turds. Yeah, that's another one. Ask any of my kids, they know what a ghost turd is. And for those of you that don't know, that's just a dust ball, but it's a ghost turd. Fart sack, right? That was number five's favorite. Fart sack. That's just the sheet that goes over it, or it's actually a sack that goes over your mattress, protects it. All right. Uh, all right. So that's naval terminology. Love it. We continue to use it. We are a department of the Navy. Yes, men's department, but it's good. Portholes. Portholes is the window, right? But that's a funny one too. A recruit with glasses, right? He's now portholes, and if he's on crutches, sticks. Too funny. Great question, Stolas. Question: do you think you should judge the Marine Corps based off your first duty station? I'm kind of tossing me a softball, and we have talked about that many times. And absolutely, 100%, never, no. And here's why: for the crowd, it's not the Marine Corps. It's not the entire Marine Corps. East Coast, West Coast, overseas. There's a different vibe to all three of those for starters. And when you get to your new duty station, there could be some great leaders there, and that's what you get introduced to, is just some great, solid leadership. But that Marine, Sergeant Major, Commander, Colonel, Battalion Commander, whatever it is, just got orders and he's leaving in 6 months. And then you get in a not so great leader. Now you're like, wait a minute, just went from the best leader in the world 6 months later. Now we got this. This is really this is what the Marine Corps is. Not going to do it. You judge that off your entire Marine Corps. You say, as soon as my 4 years is up, I'm out. Way too many Marines do that. Not being able to go to another duty station, another geographic location where maybe the op tempo is higher. If that's what you like to do, you want to go to the field, you want to train, you want to do all those things. But the unit you got assigned to doesn't deploy. They don't go in the field. They don't do any of those things. So again, that's just one duty station. That's a small fraction of the entire Marine Corps. Way too many schools to go to, way too many different geographic locations, MSG duty, all the things that we talk about on this channel. I think that should give you a wide enough scope of every duty station is different. And even while you're at that duty station, things are going to change because personnel change. Again, that was the problem with the last organization I worked with. That old personnel didn't change. They were in it to win it. They grew roots and just complacency set in. They just are existing. So nothing changes. That's the beauty of the military. People do change. Could be bad for a little while, but you can get like the organization I left, it can't get any worse. I didn't think. Military organizations constantly rotate, fresh eyes come in, fresh ideas, motivation comes in. That old stale boss that's been there for 30 years, he gone. And some new fresh ideas, some young blood comes in, some just a different set of eyes comes in. That's what that organization needs. New, fresh people with passion that want to make it better. Complacency sets in, it kills everything. Uh, what are we talking about? Oh, Jyrene is here. Jyrene is tardy. Watching Lynn Halsey Taylor dining at the Pa- Palomino. No, no, you're wrong. You need to fix yourself. Uh-oh. Better write that down and watch it later, old Jyrene. Uh, all right, look at the ticker right there. Thanks for all being here. We're testing out StreamYard again. What do you guys think? Let us know what you think about StreamYard. I thought I saw JP there. Is he here? Put it up. You better lock your body, JP, and put your comment back up there. I was looking through it. I think I was on a roll of complacency. We're talking about naval terminology, and that's one, lock your body. What does that mean? Can you imagine if you said that to a civilian, lock your body? The only one who would be able to do it would be JP, because he knows he better lock his body. Good to see you, brother. God bless you. If you weren't here Sunday, JP, watch Sundays. Last Sundays, check the date. Yes, it's 2 hours while you're washing your car, taking care of the baby, whatever you're doing. put on that live from last week. It was deep. It was tough. It was good. God bless you, brother. Uh, where and when did you go to boot camp? A couple years ago. Went to MCRD San Diego Hollywood Marine. Yes, we got issued suntan lotion, sunglasses, surfboards. It was awesome. Love it. Easier to see comments. Okay, Carrie Ann Marie likes it. I guess we're in. Carrie Ann Marie likes StreamYard. What else can you do with StreamYard, producer? Not to put you on the spot. What's the beauty of it? Um, Brendan, Kelly, are you a Marine? Are you thinking about going? Are you trying to decide which coast to go to? What are you asking? You just curious? Um, we used to be able to. San Diego has the mountains, right? Parris Island has the sand fleas, right? The swamps. And we always ask which one is tougher, who's the more era. So let's thank you. Last question. How does one keep the motivation in the fleet after so much negative energy? Another great question. So Lisa, are you in? Are you getting ready to go in? Give us your status too. But that's a great question also. And it's self-motivation. And I, I never liked hearing the term, well, it's false motivation. Look at that dude. That's false motivation, false motivation. It may be. And who cares if it is? And who are you to judge that false motivation? That's when that peer pressure comes in because that's your boys trying to hold you back. That's that equalizer I always talk about. If you're motivated as heck and they can't keep up with you, they don't have as high a PFT as you, rifle score, MCIs, college courses, McMap belt. They're not doing all the things you're doing. They're going to call you fake and kiss butt. That's false motivation. Why are you doing all this? Who are you trying to impress? I'm trying to be the best man I could possibly be. What are you talking about? Instead of them mirroring you, mimicking you, trying to do the things you're doing, they're going to try and bring you down. That's when motivation gets killed. So, how do you motivate yourself? You got to find that thing, right? Mine was the gym. Early on, I didn't know I was that typical Marine going to Okinawa for the first time. Went out in Kenville every night to get dollar beers and get drunk and then party, throw up with my buddies, get in a fight with each other and walk back. That's just what we did. We'd fight on the way back. We luckily, hopefully, get through the gate with no trouble. But as soon as we got on base, we'd start fighting. And the next day, going to PT and be best friends again. But it drained all my money. I wasn't doing any college, any education. We were keeping up with PT. We were young, fresh out of boot camp, so PT wasn't a big deal. But we weren't getting smarter. We weren't getting bigger, better, stronger, faster, and we weren't being the best Marine we could possibly be. So motivation was down, living paycheck to paycheck. You imagine that? A young Marine living paycheck to paycheck, counting money to make it to the next payday because you ran out. In Okinawa, where everything's provided, three hots and a cot, every meal's provided, your room is provided, your uniforms are provided. You even get clothing allowance. Yet I was living payday to payday every 2 weeks, trying to string it out to make it. Done. Yeah, I wasted 6 months of my Marine Corps career to finally I got in a new roommate and he was a boot and I made fun of him for being a boot newbie, right? Trying to show him the ways, show you the best bars in Kenville, which was the East Coast, by the way, good music, loud. But he's like, nope, country boy, big corn-fed country boy said, where's the gym? And this is back in the day that the gyms in Okinawa were sweat boxes, old weights, the concrete and falling apart. But he went every single day. And he would come back and he'd order some protein shakes online and get this proteins, mix it. But I noticed in that short amount of time, he was already getting bigger. I was like, damn. And he finally talked me into going with him one time. And and it just stuck. I got that bug. I worked out in high school as a football player, but I was a Marine now. Life was different. I don't know what made me think I needed to change what I was doing before. I was in great shape when I went to boot camp and after boot camp, but it was that being on my own for the first time, right? Having a bank card, a debit card, my own bank account, right? And no rules really. It just as long as you made it to formation on time, as long as you made it to work on time, as long as you stayed out of trouble during work, you were good. So luckily that guy convinced me, him and his buddy. He had a buddy who lived in a different barracks, but he would come over every day, pick him up after work, and they go to the gym. Finally start going. That's when I was like, wow. Because guess what? Gym is free too. Everything is free. I started saving money and was just getting in better shape. And these two guys were squared away too. So I want to be like them. I want to learn how to roll my sleeves like they did. They were just great examples of young Marines just taking full advantage of everything that's being given to them. I wonder what happened to them. Okinawa was weird. It was a 1 year tour at the time, so I left shortly after that, a couple months anyway. But they got me in that mode. So everywhere where I went after that was gym, and that's where I got to. When you meet all the people on the base, right? You get different ideas from different MOSs, different ranks. There's no rank in the gym per se, but you can learn stuff in the gym. Find a good workout partner. Had some great workout partners. Silversmith, still keeping contact with him in Okinawa, our second time in Okinawa. Um, and that's the place where you can reflect, right? That's where you think about what you're going to do. As soon as I get back, I'm gonna shower and change, spit out my boots, press out my camis, or pick them up from Mama San in Okinawa. Whatever it is, that's your time to improve 1% better every day. So how do you fight that demotivation, that morale dilemma? Know this: the leadership's going to change. You can do as much as you possibly can. I'm telling you, I suffered 4 years through the last thing I did to try to help improve to deaf ears, getting the Heisman. They didn't want to improve. Didn't matter to me. I wasn't going to stop. So you can only do as much as you can do at whatever rank you're at until you're in that position. But I learned a lot from that poor leadership. Things to never ever do. Reminded me of what poor leadership looks like. So I never have to deal with it again. And I won't. And I'm very patient, I'm very optimistic, but that killed it. They tried to, and I had another Marine, reminds me a lot of Lake Cookie. Roads. Where's where's remember Rhodes, Lake Cookie? Is Lake Cookie here? And Randolph. Is Randolph here? This guy Rhodes just had that innate ability to be motivated 24/7. That's it. 100% of the time. 24/7, he found that motivation. Didn't matter what was how bad the situation was. And it rubbed off. It rubbed off on the right people. Okay, hold on. I gotta see this. What did Kimi make? You made it? You're green? Oh, on. Oh, cool, finally. Been in the wind. Solo. Oh, okay. The producer has backup now. Jake, I'll hit that. How many times can you be recycled? I'll hit that. Let me see what Sola says. Final question. I'm in the fleet, but my friends just got NJP for DUI, and we both get out in 2028. Could he pick up his? Could he pick up in his first enlistment before he keeps that motivation? So can he get promoted again before 2028? Is your question? Although he was NJP'd for a DUI. And first, Solus, I'm sorry for your friend, but hopefully you learned a valuable lesson from that. Come on, man. In today's day and age with Ubers and Lyfts and a billion ways to get to where you need to get, bad move. Um, you both get out in 2028. What are you, 5, 6, 7, 8? So 3 years. You've been in a year, I'm guessing. You're going to continue to get promoted. He probably got, if he was a Lance Corporal, he probably got busted down to a PFC. I don't know, private. To answer your question, yes, I'm not the authority in that, but legally, or he can. Um, to regain his motivation. And in 10 years from now, it's not going to hold as much weight, obviously, as it does right now, but it will slow his promotion down. Facts. And don't try and sugarcoat anything. He's going to be behind you probably his entire career, right? Because once you hit the step NCO ranks, you get looked at once a year. You're only in zone every year. So he could get passed later on in life for that DUI. He's not going to go on a meritorious board. It depends on the leadership too. Depends on leadership. I think I told y'all before, that's kind of another reason why I stayed in, so I could take care of Marines that make mistakes, help them recover from it. Right? Because there's nothing worse. I told this story in real quick. I was on a board. My guy took everything. I was a member of the board, meritorious corporal, and my guy I put up, my lance corporal, he killed it. Every single thing, he beat everybody out in questions asked, rifle, pistol, PFT, McMath, everything. And out of nowhere, one of the other, I think it was when I was a first sergeant's flipping through his book, his package that I prepared, and it had a DUI in there when he was a PFC his first year in the Corps. He's like, well, your guy, I see right here, he had a DUI. He didn't say how long ago it was. He didn't say the circumstances. He just said, not a disqualifier, a DUI. And one, no, it's not. But again, who are you going to take? A guy has no bad paperwork, no NJPs, or someone who has one? So that's why you should tell Marines on the safety briefs every Friday. Again, if it ever comes down to it, I need one person for meritorious promoted. I need one person to take this jump school. Everybody wants to do jump school. I got one quota for jump school. Who am I going to pick? The Marine with the clean record, never made any mistakes, or a Marine that has made a mistake? Quick and easy on the surface, obviously the one who didn't make any mistakes. However, and the reason I stayed in, what is your buddy going to do, Solus? How is he going to react now? Muhammad Ali, you don't lose a fight if you get knocked down. You lose a fight if you don't get back up. So how you recover is so important that leaders forget that part. What happened when there was circumstances behind it? Take the Marine with NJP, depending on the NJP, old Jyrene. My point exactly. I would take Lay Cook over any Marine with any record into combat with me. I would have him, and he's got a few NJPs. So again, point being, that's why I wanted to stay in. That's why I wanted to move up the ranks and be on a promotion board, be on that selecting whatever rank. It didn't matter. I wanted to be on promotion boards so I could fight for those Marines. Yes, but yeah, he made a mistake, but Jesus, look what he's done after. Since that one mistake, he's got his bachelor's degree. He's got community service. He's done everything possible to recover from it. Hasn't been in trouble since. So to answer your question, there's Lake Cookie. I was just talking about you, brother. Yes, he can get promoted. Come stick with it. How he reacts now is going to make or break his career. What he does now that he's been knocked down. Did he get back up? Is he going to get back up ever? Iron Mark, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. I see Menachem. I see Doc. I see everybody. Chuck Reese. Good evening. Live on Wednesday. Live on Warrior Wednesday. Love it. Oh, Kimmy's here. Finally. There he is. Lake Cookie. Ears must have been burning. John McJunkins here. JEU. Got NDP twice and would have stayed in. Had a limb blown off. Well, there you go. Stay motivated, brother. Stuff happens. Roll with it. Mine was alcohol related. Now, 20 years later, I don't even drink. Everything happens for a reason, brother. Good on you, Jay. And I hope you're doing well, brother. God bless you. Thank you for your service. Hang out with us. And you have. Yeah, appreciate you. Lay Cookie, Doc, Manaka, Junkin, Shoots. StreamYard. We asked earlier, we're on StreamYard. If you noticed the difference, let us know what you think. Carrie Ann Marie Potts likes it, so we're definitely going to be doing it again. Who else likes it? Chesty Puller was a big fan of Marines that had brig time. Mark Hankins and Jake, I got you. Chesty Puller said, what's the quote? Um, he was going to do a tour of a base or something, and they picked him up and they took him to the obviously dog and pony show. And he said, "All right, now take me to the brig where I can see real Marines." Hurrah. That's the kind of leader Chesty was. Jake, does it come with 45 and 45? What was your original question, Jake? Do you remember? Can you see that? New format. Yes, Menachem. Again, what's up, unofficial chaps? StreamYard, how do you like it? Lakewood, 5 battalion level JPs, one company level. Company level is nothing after you have 5 battalion level and still got an honorable discharge. How is that possible? I tell you, just like I've been saying, every single show that we do end up talking about Mike Laycook he is the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. That's how you back it up. He just had a mouth on him. He says he's cleaned it up. His work ethic, which you can't teach, right? His initiative, which you can't teach. He had all of it, and he had little to zero patience for what's the right word that I can say? I almost swore on here for poor leaders, right? I'll put it nicely. Poor leadership. He had zero tolerance for it, and rightly so. There was. That's a good question, Jake. How many times can you be recycled in boot camp? Not sure because it depends on what it's for. If you never qualify with the rifle, you're done. And that they usually require you about 3 or 4 times. I'm guessing swim call 3 or 4 times. If you just can't get it, you ain't getting it. I had a Marine on here that served 12 months in boot camp because he got recycled 4 or 5 times. He was a fat body when he got there, broken ankle, rehabbed, came back, broke the other ankle. I don't remember the whole story. Goldman, but he graduated a year later. He had Lance Corporal time and grade time of service. Doc Holiday, get you some, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. Super chat, awesome. Always, Doc, bringing it home. Appreciate you. Thank you. Uh, get some devil, Doc. Thank you for your support. Reading what the producers are saying too, Doc. Always, brother. God bless you. No slackers. All right. Legacy. I've been rambling quite a bit. Oh, and I just kicked the camera. Legacy Marines. Who knows what that means to be a legacy Marines, or what does the term legacy mean? And who does that affect, and how does it affect? How could it affect you? Let me read Randall's while y'all get some feedback on that. Can you graduate Marine boot camp as a Lance Corporal without being honor man? Yes. After a year in medical MRE and complete boot camp, I met one. Randall, I thought you were talking about my guy. And he's been on the show before. I don't know where he's been. Same thing. He graduated boot camp, not meritorious, time and grade, time and service. He was in boot camp 11 and a half months because of those same things that you just mentioned. We had one. When was that? Randall, maybe it's the same guy. Goldman is his name. I picked him up in we're in second phase. I think we're in second phase. I picked him up, didn't know him from Adam. Of course, I made him the guide because he's been on the depot for so long. He was a terrible guide. Sorry, Goldman. Didn't have because he knew too much, right? He knew as much, he knew more than my drill instructors, right? So he knew the SOP, he knew the training schedule. He knew sometimes he'd have me study. It was my first cycle as a senior. He'd say, "Sir, this needs to be turned into series guns tomorrow." Give me that. I know that. Get out of my face. So I made him my admin recruit, obviously, and he killed it. Good dude. I knew one, let's just say he wasn't very good at Marine Legacy. His dad was a sergeant major, and dude thought he would be treated differently. Was one of the biggest turds I ever met. Yes, that happens also. He would have been 86 to 87. No, Randall, you're a little older than me. That was before my time. This was 90 when I was a drill instructor, 90, 94. 93, 94. I know quite a few Goldmans, no Marines though. Goldman, good dude, good dude. I hope he gets back on there soon. Um, so legacy, here's another. Let's see what Chuck says. Legacy as very family member after their family member being in the Marine Corps. Yes, every family member after their family member. So yes, I'm reading it all messed up, and it looks like you fat fingered it. Legacy, and I didn't really get it. I had heard it, and you hear of legacy tools and legacy sports and legacy. It gets used quite a bit. I didn't know what it meant until we kind of had it apply when USMC CC was trying to listen to Marine Corps. She needed a waiver. We're like, man, the recruiter's like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I was like, yes, there's a waiver for everything. I've been in long enough. Put in for the waiver. He's like, I will, but I don't think. I start calling buddies. I'm like, bro, what do you think about this? My daughter's trying to enlist, but this is recruiter says it can't happen. He's like, well, finally, a sergeant major on the depot at the time was the depot sergeant major at MCRD. He's like, bro, she's legacy. Of course, your waiver will go through. Uh, Put it in. Tell your recruiter. Find a new recruiter. First of all, put it in. You're a legacy. She's a legacy Marine. It'll happen. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Is it special treatment? Is it unfair for anyone else? No, it's a little more given back to the service member that did put his life on the line, time and effort. So it happens probably more often than not for all the right reasons. Yeah, was it a mistake? Did we cut corners? No, she was honor grad. She was the Molly Marine recipient. She was the number one grad in boot camp. She got coined by the Secretary of the Navy, for crying out loud. Higher freaking coin than I ever got. So it's for all the right reasons. Um, so that's what legacy means, and there are benefits to it. And I wish I would know it. Another time, it could have played a bigger role in this other Marine's. Well, he's a soldier. His life. Both his parents were Marines, retired, and he had a medical issue that he couldn't get a waiver for the Marine Corps. And I even talked to the parents. I was like, you need to call someone. You need to talk to someone. You need to figure out. There's waivers for everything. Um, and I don't know if they did or didn't, but the kid was so motivated, so era, he couldn't wait anymore. So he ended up joining the army. The army took him. Right? Well, I think Marines weight stuff. I think the Army weighs even more. They took him. Hopefully he's in special forces. Hopefully he's getting everything out of the Army that he possibly can. But that was a perfect example that could have been a legacy enlistment. I think they might have missed the boat on that one. So use it, right? If you know people in that situation, you got to use it. All right, Carl Green is here on deck. Carl, good to see you. McJunkin, we ready? We ready for John McJunkin's crew? J Dub is here. Lock your body. Tension on deck. There's a 22 V-22 Osprey over Japan that's declaring an emergency. Really? Funny, we saw one today. Kimi Cocoa Puffs. Was that today or yesterday? So our major on deck. J Dub. Thanks, y'all. My second daughter. Um, how do you keep Doc? This how do you keep young Marines motivated in tough situations? Man, Doc. So I'm pretty fortunate. I always have a pretty optimistic outlook on things. Some of it's learned, I think, throughout the Marine Corps and good leadership along the way. Even talking about my last job, it was poor leadership, poor morale, it was horrible, but I was still able to do my job with motivation, right? Motivated the people around me, or just showed that motivation. So it's Doc. It depends on their leadership, and and mindset. So that individual, those individuals, because you decide what kind of day you're going to have. I learned this in a small group. JP popped up again. I learned this in a small group with some warriors of God, all civilians, by the way. I was the only military member in this small group. But these dudes convinced me that you decide what kind of day you're having. You wake up in the morning, Mondays. How about this? Oh God, a Monday is another Monday. Yeah, it's like a Friday to me. It's just as good as a Friday if you decide that as soon as you wake up. So someone that's going through having a bad day, you see them at lunch. Oh man, it's been one of those days. That's your fault. You made it. It could have been a bad day, but it's how you react to everything that has happened during that day. So if you're still having a bad day, 4 hours later, still your fault. So it comes within, Doc, I think is why I'm talking about it. What did the producer say? Is it possible to rate promotion during terminal leave? Ooh, that's a good one. What? Put in there? Oh, then hit those. Okay. Um, so again, it comes within, Doc, and I want to believe that leadership has a big part to do with that, right? Big part to do with that. All right. Here's a question from Village ID 10T. Is it possible to rate a promotion during terminal leave? No. Here's why. Now, let me rephrase that. Sergeant and below, I don't know. Staff NCOs, no, because if you accept a promotion in the staff NCO ranks, you're obligated 2 years of service. So if you're a staff sergeant, you start your terminal leave, but your number comes up, your name gets on the promotion roster, you made it, gunnery sergeant, but you're on terminal leave, you're getting out, you cannot get that promotion. You cannot accept that promotion unless it's a waiver and you come back in, get off terminal leave, and you spend 2 years. 2 years obligated service after you get promoted to a staff NCO in the staff NCO ranks. So right there, and Randall says, I made credit score for sergeant during terminal leave, no dice. So it must be the same, all ranks is what I'm guessing. Yep. E5 below, wasn't sure, but Randall debunked that. Randall's showing the receipts right now. Hurrah. But staff NCOs, absolutely not. All right. Willie Brasher asks, Sergeant Major, sir, after going to MEPS, they found out I have a poor arch support in my feet. My recruiter thought I wanted out, but I don't. What can I do? Waiver, 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 request a waiver. I think flat feet, yeah, poor arch support. Is that different than flat feet? I've just always known that flat feet are a disqualifier. At the same time, I had a Marine with flat feet. I've never seen that before in my life. And he showed me he got a waiver. So get after the waiver. Multiple, get second, third, fourth, and fifth opinions. All right. Doc Holiday. So imagine, how do you keep young Marines motivated through tough situations? She's a little late on that one. We did discuss that, producer. And again, depends on the leader. I want to believe that I could motivate and tell you a story. I think I may have told this before. Bridgeport Summer Mountain Leaders Course. We had to cross the frozen, the river. The river comes from the top of the mountain, melted snow into the river. So you know it's cold. And I just happened to be squad leader for the day. They rotated squad leaders every day. I was a squad leader that day. I was a sergeant, had nothing but staff NCOs and officers in this course. I was the most junior Marine there. Came up to the river, orders were across it, make a one rope bridge. One person has to swim. If you know how a one rope bridge works, one of you is getting wet. I was a squad leader. So I was like, oh yeah. They're like, oh man, I wish I was squad leader that day. Because I had to pick someone to swim across. And that's when, nobody makes eye contact with you. They try to pull rank on me and bro, I did this. And I was trying to decide who I was gonna pick to go across. Man, this is tough. So in order to alleviate any problems whatsoever, and to kind of spark the motivation in all these guys, I said, I'll go with whoever volunteers. Both of us will go across. And I even jumped in first. Couldn't breathe. Right once I caught my breath, the guy who volunteered, he jumped in after me. Next thing I knew, the whole squad jumped in, froze our butts off. We got a butt chewing because we didn't do it properly, but we got out and ended up doing it right. But that was no one was motivated to nowhere near. Granted, Stephen, she was an officer, wearing a leadership course that has something to do with it. But young Marines, you just got to be willing to go the extra mile for them. Show them that you'll do. You're not going to tell them to do something that you wouldn't do. Or leadership by example, I think they call that. All right, Eric S. asks, have you ever considered continuing your career with aspirations of attaining the rank of Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, SF, SMMC? No, instead I wanted to join the SFMF Corps. Um, Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, I think I want to believe every Sergeant Major thinks about it. If they don't, what's wrong with you? No, I don't want that. Too political, too this, too that BS I put up. So I'd be lying if I say no, I would never want that position. But I do know what comes with that, and that is the politics. Um, and you get groomed early on, and I'm gonna get political with you here just for a few minutes. But they've already selected probably two or three sergeants major of the Marine Corps. Same with commandant of the Marine Corps, and I'm guessing it's in all the services. They start grooming someone for that position. Here's what I mean: they're gonna they're gonna make sure you attend all the correct schools. I want some cool schools. I want to some awesome schools. Would they help me become the sergeant major of the Marine Corps? Maybe, but that wasn't my goal. They're going to make sure you go to the right duty stations. So when they read the selection of the sergeant major of the Marine Corps, yes, he was stationed here. Then he went all the way over here, and then he came back over here to group, division, base. He's done all these things, and he's done this, and volunteer service, and he's humanitarian. They're going to throw that on you to make your package look good. The problem I have with that, and I want to talk bad about anyone, but the current sergeant major of the Marine Corps, I think he hit all those marks, but is he there for the right reason? Is he doing everything he possibly can for the enlisted Marines? Right, he's a senior enlisted advisor to the commandant of the Marine Corps. Are the Marines benefiting from him being up there? And I think that gets skewed along the way. And I think they select people that will be okay with that. They're going to fight for their Marines. Again, back to my last job. That's what they didn't want. They didn't want someone outspoken, honest, upfront, transparent, because they don't want to change anything. So you imagine you get a sergeant major of the Marine Corps who's like, oh yeah, oh, we got some problems here. We need to fix this, and this now. It's going to raise a lot of stir a lot of feathers. It's going to stoke the fire. That's going to stir the pot. It's going to make it uncomfortable for a lot of people. My last organization, they didn't want any of that. They just wanted to kind of lay low and let everything still continue to be okay instead of trying to be the best, absolutely Marine Corps possible. That the very best at all costs. Meaning, yes, I'll put my job on the line. You're going to fire me because I'm trying to make this place better. Then you got the problem. So was the question, did I ever consider being Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps? The original question was, I'd love it. I think I would stir some stuff if I was up there. I would be polite, I'd be tactful, I'd be professional. Again, just like my last job, I did all those things, but I was a one-man show, right? Everyone else was already complacency had set in, and they were in solid roots, and they ain't doing nothing to improve nothing. Hurrah. No salty sergeant major of the Marine Corps. Hurrah. Doc Holliday, what are the top qualities you look for when recommending a Marine for promotion? Even better, along those same lines, Doc, you're on fire. along the same lines, you check first, you check books, right? So as a sergeant major, even as a first sergeant, you got a meritorious promotion or just promotion in general. Okay, just promotion in general. So every 3 months, the promotion roster comes out for E5 and below. And every single Marine has to get recommended or non-recommended. Okay, the rec non-rec roster, they call it. Rec non-rec roster comes out, give it to the platoon sergeant, let them make their cut first. Recommended, 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 non-rec. If they ever wrote non-recommended, that means he has a time and grade, he's eligible, but he has to be recommended, or she. And I tell the platoon sergeants, the platoon commander is coming, everyone through the chain of command. If you put non-rec, you better have a reason why. Put it out there, write it out, spell it out, attach an addendum page if you have to. But there better be a reason you're not recommending this Marine for promotion. Feelings aside, right? Nothing personal, facts. So those are those are pretty easy. Right off the bat, Solis was asking about NJP. Immediately after NJP, well, as soon as he becomes eligible, might be a couple non-recs in there. But how did that Marine get back up? Right, the same NJP Marine or the same Marine that failed the PFT. Let's say he didn't get NJP or negative page 11s. He just has failed the PFT, failed rifle qual. Those would be page 11s. But he's not, he or she's just not ready to be a lance corporal. Yeah, and that's a leadership position. You would put a non-rec and justify it. So the qualities that I personally look for are, one, it should be quick and easy on the rifle, pistol, PFT, MCIs, McMap belt. All those things should be easy. Right down the list, yep, he's good to go. He's doing everything that he's supposed to do. May not be the highest PFTer, but he's consistently getting higher. Boom, promotion. Well, why not? Right? He's only going to get better. So a pattern of positive, uh, everything. He is improving daily. So the younger ones are easy. Steph and Chills are a little harder. That's when you put everything into it and find out what is the possible. It's harder to non-recommend than it is to recommend him. So as long as he displays all those basic qualities of being a Marine, he's good to go. All right, JP, look at you. Boom, a blue one. Thank you, brother. Is 36 too old to join the Marine Corps? Asking for a friend. First of all, you ain't 36, you're like 46. 36 is, there's a waiver for everything. The age limit right now is 18 to 26, right? 18 to 26, waived up to 34. And there's something in a process right now to waive it up to 42. Am I getting these numbers right? Right there, Doc said it. Yes, there's a waiver for everything. So, hey, your friend, JP, if he's got what it takes, if he's mentally tough and physically fit, high PFT. If you're older, I'm assuming they're going to want a high 285 PFT. So you got to show that you can hang. But no, it's not too old. Till he reaches 28 and his knees begin to give out. Yeah, 36 is possible, but being that age will be very challenging physically, but more so mentally. Tell you, I'd love having the older recruits in boot camp. They're more mature, less to worry about. Use them to help you with those 18-year-old kids at that time. The maturity factor totally helps it. So all good. Carrie Ann Marie Potts asks, where did Ura come from? Where's old Jyrene? Carl, where's the old guys on there? Randall, where did Ura come from? Because it changed over the years also. Um, gung ho. It used to be gung ho, gung ho, gung ho, gung ho. Ura started right here. Holiday coming through. Ura started in the early 1950s with the Marine recon units aboard submarines during the Korean War. The Marines nicknamed or mimicked the sub's dive alarm, which sounded like Aruga. Over time, it evolved. Aruga. That's it. Must be true. Everyone's saying it. Evolved into a sharper ura and was spread core Y by Sergeant Major John Massaro. Today, it's the iconic Marine battle cry for motivation, pride, and spirit, like in the Great Santini. So it's funny you ask that, and especially you spelled it like that, because I'm wearing an SFMF shirt today. But I do get comments like, you spelled it wrong, and why you saying you're a sergeant major, you don't know how to spell hoorah, and what's your problem? I spell it like I say it. I know it's hoorah. I don't feel as as much when I say hoorah, but it is era. Great Santini, great movie, Randall. I've heard older enlistees having most difficulty being surrounded by kids, taking orders from much younger folks who were threatened by their age. That happens to Eric S. going in later, being a older, more mature. USMC was already 19 when she went to boot camp, right? So she was older, a year or two, but still, you can tell a difference. And it does take, it's on the older person's part to be able to adjust. Yeah. Um, Era. That's another way, J-Dub, to spell. You see it spelled a bunch of different ways, but officially, unofficially, you see it on shirts and Marine Corps websites, Marine Corps stuff as OOHRAH. Hoorah. Era. Going home, Marine Corps Major Roosevelt brought it back from studying Chinese in the late 30s, 1930s. Al Holiday says, how much do things like PME, completion, and collateral duties weigh in promotion decision? Huge. Same rec, non-rec list for promotion up to E5. First thing you check, depends on who you are. I check rifle, pistol, PFT, and then PME. Have they done all their MCIs or any college? That's for the younger Marines. Staff NCOs, it's mandatory to be PME complete. So if you're on that board, and I've described that before, you have a room of sergeants, majors, and master gunnery sergeants on a gunny promotion board, let's say. Senior members of full bird colonel. Your package pops up, no more photos. Used to be a photo of your life-size photo of you up on the wall, and the briefer briefs. High PFT, high rifle, high pistol, black belt, college, all your good things that you've done in the Marine Corps, but they have to also brief the bad. And if that briefer ever says PME incomplete, you're done. You're gonna go to the other stack and maybe you might get picked up. And I've seen that before too. Marines do slip through the cracks somehow, being non-PME complete. So each rank has required professional military education. It means everything. No reason you should be incomplete. Deployments, back-to-back deployments for the longest time when we were going back to back to back, there was waivers and there was page 11 entries and they were covered. As long as if you were afforded the opportunity or you could have gone and you chose not to, looks bad. You're not going to get promoted. And sometimes because here's another reason I wanted to stay in and be able to lead more Marines was, why are you PME incomplete? Why have you not gone to the career course? Well, my last unit, Sergeant Major said, he can't afford to let me go. That's the Sergeant Major's problem. You hold somebody back because you don't want your best staff sergeant to go. The leave for PME, fail. That's poor leadership, 100%. No way you can convince me otherwise. Never hold Marines back from from continuing their education, from getting better, from schools, even if it is a jump quota, a school that's just fun to have. Let them go. If he can manage to get himself scuba school, let him go, man. Figure it out. If you can't, your unit can't survive without one staff sergeant, a couple squad leaders, or a platoon sergeant, you got much bigger problems. Don't hold any Marine back from doing anything that would better their career or just motivate them. Right? If they find a class that they can take and it's 30 days, you're gonna have to go PTAD, temporary, figure it out. Don't hold Marines back from doing anything positive, anything to improve. Now, at the same time, you'll get Marines that are doing it just to escape, just to get away from work. Obviously, you got to put some common sense into it, and you know who those Marines are anyway. So that's an easy telltale. You got someone that's continuing trying to get out of work, right? They're not going to miss deployments. They're not going to miss field operations, which even is questionable. But don't hold them back. Enemy completions and collateral duties looks good. That's definitely a another. Yes, he's also he's also the SACO. He's also the Toys for Tots representative for base. Collateral duties like that. He volunteered for guard duty. Stuff that's again TAD or just collateral duty. He's the battalion rec fund guy. Right, puts on the battalion Christmas parties. Um, they all help. Everything gets briefed when you're going up for that promotion, and something's got to help you stand out, right? You're going for a gunny, you got a 600 awesome staff sergeants, but you can only promote 500. Something's got to break you out, right? To when they brief your package, you're already put in the short stack. Oh, this guy's definitely. Now let's go through the rest of them. He's good. Well, he's just as good. He's just as good. Wow, everyone's so good. Oh, this guy is not only PME complete, he managed to get into the gunny scores before he's even a gun. He's done all the MCIs. Right? It's collateral duty. He's the regimental party fund guy. I just made that up. I don't know if there is one, but yes, the more you do, the better. Again, back to another short, long time ago. Volunteer for everything. Volunteer, kissing butt, you're making yourself better. Learn something from it. Jack says, what's the one thing you hope every Marine remembers long after their EAS? Everything they learned in the Marine Corps, every good thing they learned in the Marine Corps. Discipline, self-discipline, initiative. Talking about not being able to teach that accountability. Telling you that last place I worked out, they all lost all sense of accountability, all sense of initiative, all sense of leadership, leadership 101, leadership traits and principles. I don't know if there's one thing, Doc. I'm telling you, you can tell, just like we say, you can tell Marines when you see them in civilian clothes, if they've done 4 years and got out, if they did a career, there's something about them. So never lose that. Here's what they should never lose: the era that they got from the Marine Corps. All right, the John McJunkin one. Uli Trang asks, this is my final year in high school before enlisting into the Marines. Era. My parents want me to go reserve so I can help the family store, but I want to go active. Any advice? Yes, great question. Wow. Um, here's my thoughts. You'll be able to help your family more as an active duty Marine monetarily, if that will help them. Depending on where you're from, where you get stationed, all those things come into play as well. But right now, you have to be a little bit selfish, in my opinion, and do what you know is best for your life. 4 years goes by quick. Ask anyone who's done it. 4 years goes by like that. So being active duty, you get a fatter paycheck. You'll be able to, if money could help them, right, participate or help the store, and then see what it looks like after 4 years, and then go from active to reserve. Never get out. Whatever you do, don't get out. Once you go, again, my recommendation, and your parents are going to be mad at me, but I think you should go active duty first. Again, try to help them send your paychecks home. You don't need any money for the first couple of years. Everything's provided. See how that plays out, and if they're struggling, you could even help them with your paycheck. Hire an employee to help them that way. Get your feet solid on the ground, start your career, start your life, and then make a decision after your first enlistment. If you go reserves in, by all means, go back home, help out. You'll still be serving, right? Still have the paycheck, still have the ID card, still have the benefits of being a Marine. I have a feeling you're going to love being active duty, and you'll be able to help out just as much, not physically, but you'll be able to help. in the long run. Hope that helps. Training and good luck to you when you go into boot camp. And keep us posted. Keep us posted on your plan. It's it's interesting. And it happens probably more often than people think. So many times that's what Marines, especially after deployment or when Marines coming up on their EAS, a lot of the times is I have to get out. I have to go home and help my family. Again, that all about family. Family is number one. But at that young age of your life, where do you think you'd be? How do you think you'd be able to help out better? As an active duty Marine collecting a steady paycheck with medical, dental, you don't need any support from them anymore. One less thing they have to worry about. And at the same time, you are a solid Marine with medical, dental, all the benefits, steady paycheck, right? You're going to have your a bank account. You're going to start your savings. You're going to be able to help your family more. Right? A lot of people, I can't join the Marine Corps because I got to stay home and help my dad's painting business. Again, good on you. Keep it in the family. That's what the families do. But how could you help them more? And again, 4 years is 4 years. Goes by quick. Go active first, says J Dub. Producer. John McJunkin, the amount of life skills he will learn as active duty Marine will outweigh any benefits of staying near home full time. Amen. Nice one. David Bryan, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good evening, Sergeant Major, producer, the real boss. We know that. The whole family, old Jerry, Monogam, everybody. Good to see you, David Bryant. Always. Jay, not going to lie, my first duty station was horrible. It happens, Jay, far too often. And that's what happens. People, the question came up earlier. Again, my first duty station, and I judged the Marine Corps off my first duty station. And here's again proof that no, you don't. His first duty station, Jay's first day duty station was horrible. I didn't want to be in at times. Then I got to the fleet, found out my calling, and wanted to stay in. However, Murphy had other plans. Everything happens for a reason. Firmly believe that God has a plan for us all. So whatever the reason, that's on God's plan, God's timing. God's always on time. Never too early, never too late. God's got you. So go with it. And for the information, it has been passed on to the poolie. Thanks, McJunkin. Good luck to that young motivator and keep us posted on what he decides. Very interesting. JP, what are some tips for raising a daughter? You know, I got the answers for that. I raised five by myself. Nah, great question. JP, young daughter, how old is she now? Like 10? She going to school? She got to be 4, right? How old is she? 3? Um, yes. Here's what happens, and this is from the producer, 100% grain this into my head from day one. If your daughter has no love at home, what are they going to do? They're going to go find it somewhere else. If you, the man of the house, are not providing love for your daughter, your kids, probably, I'm guessing that's in general, but specifically daughters, you can tell when you see, when you hear about, when you read about, and you see them on the YouTube and TikTok and all that crap, you see those. All I can think is just ringing in my head, no love at home. Where were her parents? Where was her dad to allow this to happen? And quick story, one of my daughters had a friend who all of a sudden I was talking to the dad one day out at the soccer field. He said, I don't know what happened. Just all of a sudden she's smoking, got piercings all over her body, she's doing drugs, and she ran off with this dude. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. That's the problem. Where have you been? There's signs. You are not in tune. You're not showing her enough love. And man, I'm blessed, truly blessed. I thank God every day we got some great kids. Every one of them. None of them are in the room right now, just thankfully. So I don't know. Not that I wouldn't say it in front of them, but we raised them with love in the family. We got 5 daughters, right? And a lot of times when people hear the story, those same parents, yeah, same parents. Has it been easy the whole time? Oh, where's the producer? No, no love at home. So tips, be there. Be there, make it. And this is with 9 deployments. This is being a Marine for my entire life, growing up in the Marine Corps, missing a lot of things. If there's a way to make it, you better make it, right? And when you do have that time with them, make it quality time. Daddy daughter dances, daddy daughter dates. It's just the two of you. And I remember one time I was one of my deployments. I was writing home, and I would write to all of them, "Hey girls." My wife was like, "Nope, you write to them individually. Give them that, man. Give them at least that. That's what they want. They don't want a group. Is this personalized to me or not?" And it's not. That's the love that they deserve, right? Make light of it. You want to keep them off the pole? That's how. Show love at home. Provide love at home. Provide support at home. Remember one of them, Kimi Cocoa Puffs, is not here right now. I remember I heard her on the phone one time, a long time when she was a teenager in high school. She was talking to someone. This was before cell phones. Uh-oh, just told you how old she is. She's like, I can't. Oh man, it sounds like so much fun. I can't. I really can't. My dad said no. And I overheard that part, and she didn't even ask me. It's like, I know, but he said no. So I let it go. She hung up. I said, Who's that?" And she told me who it was. I said, "Where they going?" She's to the movies or whatever. I said, "You could go. You didn't even ask." She's like, "I don't want to. I'd rather stay home with the family. Everyone's here. I'd rather be at home." And they would, if I were to tell them that, they would give me some slack about it. But I'd rather be here with the family. Bruh, oh my God, win right there. Hallelujah, a win. That was all her. And I don't mind it. I'll blame you all you want. To your friends, couldn't care less. I'll take the blame if that's what you want to do. Right? Stay home with your family rather than go out with their friends on a Friday night where nothing good happens after midnight anyway. To this day, solid. All of them, solid kids. JP says, "You got some amazing babies. That's why I asked. I've been blessed to meet your family." Amen. Payne, you got this. Joshua, I'm sure your baby, I saw in there too. She's 3. Um, God sent image of God. Treat her that way. That's a beautiful thing. Congratulations again uh, to the 3 of you. Nice work. This is one video I saw was a dude asking his friend how to keep my daughter away from guys like you. He said, "Tell her you love her and respect her, or someone like me will take advantage of her." Nailed it, Jay. That's it. That's exactly it. No love at home. Say you love I love you. I did nothing's better than when my daughter would call me thousands of miles apart and say, "Hey, the engine light in my car went off. What do I do?" I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, but the fact that she would call me and ask me, when, right there, when. Little things, call and text all the time. We're a big family, so we're all in a group text, but a single text, which I admit right now, I don't do enough with all of them. It's usually about something, but be in the know. If we don't hear from one of them, a day or two goes by, we're like, "What's up? When we heard from one of them, let's find out what's up." So just be there, be present, be in their life. Avery Bryant says it's short about the DI phrases. You can't repeat a lot of them from my day. Same with cadences, right? Jared knows. Yes. Old Jyrene knows. Some of you older guys. Yes. There's a lot I couldn't, still can't. A lot of foul language that you can all imagine. For those of you that don't know, those of you that do know, yeah, some pretty funny ones, but stuff still you can't repeat out in public in front of civilians. Thank you, brother. We just had our son. He's 5 weeks old already. Got his push-ups on lockdown. All right, he's got push-ups now. Now it's time for bends and thrusts. Get after it. Congratulations, bro. 5-week-old boy. Awesome. What's his name? Amazing. Congratulations. You guys are killing it. G Money. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Arkankan, Sergeant Major, I can't imagine you cursing. I tell you, Menachem, I don't curse in front of my family ever. May do it a little more now that they're all older now. So one might slip out here and there, and it's funny. That's how that's how much we never swore in front of our kids. Shut up was a bad word growing up. The kids don't. They don't swear in front of us. May slip out on the older ones. I won't dime anyone out, but we just don't. I never do. At work, here's why. Being a draw stick, the recruits make you. They do some dumb things. Marines do some dumb things. I blame it on them. They caused me to curse, and I would dog them when they did. And it's the ones that use uh, Nehemiah. How do I say that? Is it something backwards? Nehemiah. Nehemiah. Am I saying that right? Nehemiah, Joshua, CC, Payne. All right, you left out the CC in there, but I saw it in there. I saw it. You got it. Swear, swear jar proves otherwise. So I'll be the first to admit, and she better, producer better. She's put some money in the swear jar as well recently. Times have been hard recently, so there may be a couple in there, a couple coins from me. She's got some dollar bills in there, but we haven't. And I used to explain to the Marines like this: it's professionalism. You watch the news, you watch sports announcers, you watch professional people. How often do they swear? Never, because it's unprofessional. Makes you sound ignorant. Find a better word for the F word. Find a better word for the S word. Sounds like you're uneducated and that's all you know, especially when you use it every other word, right? There's a time and place you stub your toe, you step on a Lego, maybe barefooted. But when you use it in your everyday language, I won't watch some. That's I told y'all about how I feel about David Goggins. I bet he's freaking awesome, Randall. I don't like listening to him because he swears the whole time. It's unnecessary. I watch Officer Tatum. He uses what's the one he used? Sugar honey iced tea. That's how he says the S word, and it's tolerable. And again, growing up with kids, with our younger kids, I never watched scary movies. I had to watch Full Metal Jacket when everyone was sleeping because of the language. So they've never been around it. They've learned all their curse words at school amongst those undisciplined kids who think it's cool, right? It's cool and funny when you're 2 and when you're 92. That's when it's funny to swear all the time. In between there, unprofessional. Friggin' A. S word. F word is covered by Semper and Fi. There you go. Menachem got it. Fragging is my go-to. The F bomb. Flip, darn. Kimi was just telling me about, oh, Philip Rivers. I don't know if you know football player. He's at San Diego Charger, went to the Colts. He's going back to the Chargers to retire. Yeah, we were just talking about it earlier. And that's one thing that all his teammates know about him. He has never sworn, even on the football field, right? He says things like, gosh darn. And come up, you think a football player and tough and the stuff that goes on in the huddle and in a tackle, a gang tackle, the language that probably happens in there. Never swore a day in his life. Pretty amazing. And man, I'm jealous. I would like to be able to sit up here and say that. I'm telling you, Marines do some stuff that just forces you to lack of discipline. Know yourself and seek self improvement. Look at the producer, Navy brat. Mouth may have erupted a few times, but for the most part, again, with as a team, we don't swear in front of the kids. R1, good evening, sir. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having an awesome day. It's R1 from the Royal Marines here in the UK. Hurrah. 7 brother. Always and forever. Be one love from this side. Per Mar. That means from it just disappeared. But that's is that Latin? Look like a Latin phrase. Thanks, brother. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you from the other side. Hang out with us. We're having another good time and an awesome Wednesday. This is how you should spend a Wednesday. I feel like people use God and damn together way too much. It's pretty blasphemous, in my opinion. Concur. And I didn't realize that. And I changed mine for a long time to got. God damn, it was still too close. So I don't use God's name in vain anymore either. Once I was saved, once I found the light, don't never use God's name in vain. And it's hard, and it is very common. Yes, and people do use it. I want to think those people aren't your Sunday bests. Uh, happens. This isn't a conversation without having. It just isn't not having, not worth having. Yeah. All right. Julie Flores asks, as a female enlisting into the Marine Corps, what MOS route should I go to be able to try out for a drill instructor MOS later on? Every one of them. Drill instructors come from every single MOS. Kind of the basis maybe of your question is because some MOSs, like for a long time when I was trying to get DI duty, they kept saying, "Oh, you're an engineer. We need you. We're short on engineer. We need you. We need you." Needs of the Corps. And your monitor, it seems like the monitors, and I've never been a monitor, Gunny East here. Don't know if you're a monitor, but they're always going to say, I can't afford to let you go out of the MOS right now. Try again later. So what MOS would be best? Um, a full MOS, but there's no way you're going to be able to game that now. So enlist in the MOS that you want, something that you want for all the right reasons. You join the Marine Corps to be a Marine, a rifleman. So we talk about this. Your job is secondary to being a rifleman, but make it an MOS that you're going to love. So do your research. Google every single one of them. There's like 180 MOSs. Google them all. Find out which one best fits your needs. Apply for DI duty when the time comes, right? And continue to apply. I applied like 3 or 4 times, right? I started as a corporal. I said, nope, you're a corporal. We're not taking corporals. We're not taking corporals. We're not taking corporals, which was wrong. They'll take a corporal, but you have to have a high cutting score. So when you graduate DI school, you'll get promoted to sergeant to start DI duty as a sergeant. That changed over the years. You older Marines, that changed over the years. So don't base your MOS decision on being a drill instructor or not. Use the MOS that you want and you know you're gonna love. John McJunkin, pick one that you'll be able to get promoted at a fair rate and one that will allow you to become a DI, as in let you go. Kelly OG is here. Excuse me. How's it, Kelly? How's your son? What's the word? What's the latest? Hey, Brian says sister was motor T, made corporal in fourth, right? And then start applying. Just don't give up. If your dream is to be a drill instructor, which mine was as a recruit, right? I knew right away as soon as I graduated boot camp, how do I become a drill instructor? Well, I had to wait 6 years before I became a drill instructor. I was a sergeant, a little bit time of grade. Then they finally accepted me on the DID. Needs of the Corps, right? Needs of the Corps. When a limb blown off, it's perfectly acceptable to tell your team leader that you are effed up. Concur. Jay, that's absolutely, you don't need to put money in the money jar for that. That's granted. How you getting along now, brother? And where is it? Below the knee? Seems far too many. Far too many. Randall Nat, if I could share just one peculiarity about my 6 years active duty in the Marine Corps. We never once lost any contest to any other service. I mean, PT contest, running gun, etc. Fact. Believe it, 100%. We even did, as a drill instructor, I did a mud run, Camp Pendleton mud run. We're all drill instructors. Lost to the fire department. Lost to the fire department. Came in second. Recon, Marine Recon 2, Marines came in third. Us to the fire department. But we didn't lose to any of the other branches of service that were there. So I'm with you, Randall. Ed Creedon, good evening. Ed, how are you? Ellie says, our son is doing great, still want to go to boot camp. Thanks for asking. Good. Ed Creedon, what's happening? Above, above the knee, about 3 inches, shape charge cut through the bottom, armor of the Humvee, perfect 6-inch hole. Yeah, man, a shape charge under the Humvee. So it wasn't an up armored one. I know that they're going through different Humvees during that time, Humvees in general. Man, yes, look at producer has our back. It was Camp Pendleton Fire Department. They're a different breed, so they were probably all Marines. We're gonna go with that. All the firefighters that beat us on that mud run were prior service Marines. I'm with that. I like that. Had to be. That's tough. That was one of the times, and I know he's not on this channel. One of my series gunners were there. It was our company commander, about four drones, a team of six, four of us drone instructors, first sergeant, and the chief. And my chief was wearing me out. Man, I was for at one point I started to be the weak link in the chain. I'm like, ain't no way, because he would have told everybody. He would have went back and put. I said, nope, done. I just got that Forrest Gump look and just took off. Then they're yelling at me to wait, wait, you got to wait. We got to finish together. We got to finish together. But he was dogging me. He put the fear in the chief in me, and I was scared. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to be that guy. We're not gonna we're not gonna lose because of me. Oh, 402. Do I have a chance at 38 years old? Yes, you do. Again, they're discussing a waiver to 42 years old. So how bad do you want? Steve, go for it. We're always outnumbered too, but not really, in a sense. I ever heard that joke about the Marine? I'm gonna mess it up. But it was some kind of conflict somewhere. Marines were coming over the hill, or the enemy wanted to take a hill. And the Marine stood up, said, hurrah, you ain't taking this hill. So the general of that army sends two of his soldiers up there, go take out that Marine so we can come over this hill. Two soldiers go up over the hill. Hear a couple, hear some noise, some gunfire, whatever, some crying, some squealing. Nobody comes back. The Marine stands up again. I told you, you're not taking this hill. So the general sends a squad up there. Hey, all 12 of you go up there, take that Marine out, take the hill. So the whole squad goes up and over the hill. They disappear. A little while longer, a couple gunshots, slashes, crying out loud. Nobody comes back. The Marine back on top of the hill. You're not taking this hill. Guy sends a platoon. All right, first platoon, take that hill. Whole platoon of his enemy soldiers up and over the hill. They're fighting. One of his soldiers comes crawling over the hill, rolls all the way down. Said, sir, don't send any more. It's a trap. It's a trap. There's two Marines up there. Yes, that's the odds. Two Marines. One just one. He had a battle buddy. We don't go anywhere without our battle buddy. It's two of them. Well, John McJunk, another Poolie. Uh, how long do I have to be enlisted for before I become a warrant officer or fly aircrafts? Well, warrant officers don't fly in the Marine Corps yet. They're talking about it. They're talking about it. Warrant officers cannot fly yet. So you have to be a commissioned officer. So if that's your ultimate goal is to fly, you can enlist up to make it up to the rank of sergeant and then apply for your commissioning program. Green to gold. There's numerous ways to get your degree and your commissioning as an enlistee. Happens all the time. So if your ultimate goal is to fly, you have to be a commissioned officer. Other services, I know Army for a fact, warrant officers do fly helicopters. I don't think they fly fixed wings, but they fly helicopters. So you just got to get promoted to sergeant, and apply. In fact, get your degree while you're a sergeant, while you're enlisted. Your whole first enlistment, go to college, like we talked about, watch the short, get your degree. So when you do apply for the commissioning program, you already have your degree. It's doable. Definitely doable. All right. Um, Blackpink asks, hello, sir. I've been sub to your channel for a while. Just didn't know that you live streamed. Want to thank you. Your videos helped me a lot during the crucible. I just graduated boot camp. Congratulations. Hurrah. And Semper Fi, my friend. Glad you're here. And we're glad that the channel helps. Good on you. What are you doing now? And we need you to comment when high schoolers are asking questions like, and you're fresh. So we need to know about the crucible. We need to know what today's Marines are going through. And where'd you go? San Diego or Paris Island? Let us know that, and then and feed us in this channel. Some of us, like me and Carl and Jared and old Jyrene, we've been out for a little while, so things have changed. So good on you. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Menachem, how dare you? Friends don't let friends join the army. Didn't we tell you that? Yes, if you want to fly as a warrant officer, though, you got to do that in the army. Mark Hankins. Most security at Songs Nuclear near me, near Pendleton, are Marine veterans. Security at Songs. What is Songs? Chicken, there you go. Blackpink, welcome to the Brotherhood. Semper Fi, sister. Hurrah. Um, and seriously, let us know. Let us know what got you through the crucible. Is it everything? That's right. I never went through the crucible. So the information I give on the crucible is from USMC CC who went through it. I did help build the crucible. Have I told that story? I left the drill field, went right to 7th Engineers Camp Pendleton. My first assignment was as a platoon sergeant was they moved us to Edson Range. How about that? Just left the drill field, left the smell of recruit training and recruits. They sent me right to one platoon from our company lived in the barracks at Edson Range, and we're building some of the obstacles for the crucible. And it was good. It was a great project, fun, kind of fun to be back in that era, era, that area. Um, Crucible building it though, I had mixed feelings about it back then, so I wasn't all that excited about it. And it was getting back to the fleet after being gone for 2 years. A lot of things have changed, but it was good. Blackpink, welcome. Shampoo shop. I like your shirt. We're on the move. Just so you know, we do have a merch shop, sfmfmerch.myshopify.com. You can go there. We have stickers, green monsters, and lanyards. Soon they'll be here. But we do have merch, and the shirts will be available very soon. So keep an eye out for them. I'll do this. I'll do the stickers if the producer tells me to do the stickers. I'll show you my favorite one. This is the pack. Get the whole pack because that one's my favorite right there. I don't know if you can see it. All right. Did I miss the? Oh, wow! Look at that! Look at the producer. Put it up on the screen. Look at you. All right, StreamYard. It's StreamYard, everyone. Again, we are on a different platform. This is StreamYard. Producer's been wanting to do it again. We had some touch and go with it early on. Maybe it's just a Wednesday thing. I don't know if it goes well. We'll continue to use it because I like that she can write on it. You saw the pictures. There's a lot of things StreamYard can do. So we just have to master it. All right, Michael Romero. He's mad at me. What do you mean friends don't let friends join the army? My father, a Marine Colonel, said, I don't care if it's the Girl Scouts, serve something bigger than yourself. So I joined the army. Amen. Brother Semper Fi, Hua, and Ura. I feel the same. That's that inner service rivalry. I'll talk bad about all the services all day long. That's why I joined the Marine Corps. Ura. But good on you for serving and your pops. Ura. Uh, Randall, pray for Ellie, please. Her back went out hard today. This occasionally happens to me too. Ellie sends greetings. God bless her and you. Hope it never happens again. I have a bad back. It's gone out before. It's been a long time. We will pray for Ellie. Man, Randall, take care of her. You know the deal. Hand and foot, give her a bell. Whatever she needs, stay off it. Stay off it. Take care of the best you possibly can. Wow. Man, sorry to hear that. There's JTB, or 1371 backbone. All right, John McJunkin. Hooley, Margolin asks, following up on my friend Gary Banton's question. Oh, has any Marine gone from enlisted to one officer to officer in the history of the Corps? Absolutely. That's very, very common as well. From enlisted to one officer to officer. Yes, that's called, they end up being an LDO, a limited duty officer. The highest rank they can achieve if they go that route, almost positive, is lieutenant colonel. If they go that particular route. And two very good friends, my buddy Carl, rest in peace, brother Carl, miss you, brother. He did that and made it up to, he got selected for lieutenant colonel before he passed. Same thing, enlisted, warrant officer, I think he made it to chief warrant officer 3, and then commission. The drill instructor I was telling you about that did the mud run with, the same thing. He made it to gunnery sergeant. We were fellow drill instructors, got promoted to gunnery sergeant one day, and then one officer the next day. He ended up staying in, commissioned, and retired a lieutenant colonel as well. So yeah, very common. You absolutely can. Matthew Askren, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Smash that like button, everyone. That's straight from Matthew Askren. Thank you, brother. The San Onofre nuclear power plant. We have a name for that, nickname for that. I'll let the producer tell you. Steve Walsh. Awesome. Thank you, brother. So what kind of track 0402 can you get into? What kind of tract? What does that mean? So what kind of tract 0402 can you get into? I see it up there. Thanks for putting it up there. I don't know what that means, Stephen. Tract 0402. What's an 04? Late Cookie says we have to have some people join the army. Can't let everybody. JP said, just text you from my new number. I got to get these kids to bed. Much love. Much love, JP. God bless you and your family. Congratulations, brother. Nice work. Keep in touch. You better send pictures of the little boy and his middle name. Don't forget to put that on his birth certificate. CC is in there somewhere. Congratulations, brother. Love you. God bless. Anderson Ho. Where you been, brother? Good to see you here for the inspiration and motivation Semper Fi. You come to the right place, Anderson Ho, and it's great to see you. How have you been? How have you been? How's everything been? We miss you. Good to see you, and thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. Awesome. How you been, Anderson? Give us an update. Steve Walsh. Yeah, I'm not the only one. Was that a fat finger, Stephen? Tracked? What do you mean by tracked? Do you put that up, producer? You put that up on the ticker, or does that come up automatically? Anderson Ho, brother, how you been? Let me look at this. Oh, I'm waiting for that tract. Army lingo. It's got to be Army lingo, right? Any Marines here heard that term? Tract, TRACT. Just like Marine lingo, right? There's naval terminology, there's Marine terminology, there's Army terminology, and I'm trying to say that in the short too, but I run out of time. But it's although we all speak the same, especially Army and Marine Corps, similar mission, but we have different language, completely different language. You just gotta catch on. A 402 is logistics. Okay, logistics officer. Anderson says, "Oh, I'm good. God blesses me more than I deserve." Amen. Facts, Anderson. Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself. God is good all the time, and He definitely blesses us all more than we deserve. Amen. G Money, never heard track. No, the track is meow. Okay. Steven, are you messing with us? Kind of meow can you get into? And then he gives us an error. All right, Steven, we got you, brother. Appreciate you. Army marching is also different. Yes, it is. Track is like a career path. Okay. Ah, so what kind of track can you get into in the '04, '02 community? All right. Kelly the OG. JP, is that your cousin? Kelly the OG? OG? Where is Joshua originally from? I don't remember. I think he's gone, Kelly. He was in Hawaii for many years. I don't want to give his info out, but I don't remember where he was from originally. Logistics officer can go anywhere in the Corps, air, land, and sea. So logistics is one. Thank you, Matthew. Logistics is one of those. Um, all right, let me read this from the producer real quick, and we'll talk about logistics. According to Google, tracked associated with specific unit in the U.S. Army, Army 402nd, Army Field Support Brigade, which logistics. Oh yeah, Joshua's pops is a Marine SoCal. That's right. That's right. That's right. Thanks, man. Producer's on fire tonight too. So logistics is that thankless job. I really do believe that. I know a lot of Marine officers when they go through OCS, most Marine officers want to be infantry officers. Most, not all. And I know logistics is one that like it. I don't know. Officers, help me out. Is it your a second choice, or you try to avoid it altogether? Because logistics is that's the most important pogue of the entire Marine Corps because they provide beans, band-aids, bullets, transportation, everything you possibly need to go deploy. So you tell me that's not a hard job to do. The logistics got to be. I've never done it, but I know we've relied on logistics 1,000%. So not a great. Well, if you like that stuff, right? If you're good at it, Um, Blackpink, put that back up there, please. The long one, unless the producer can put it up. It'll be worth it, and you gain a whole new family. I missed your first comment. I think that had something to do. That was for the good of the crowd. Anderson Hall, as a logo, you can work your way to be the USMC liaison for major projects, new vehicles, new programs, et cetera, et cetera. When you get out, probably a great job as well. So again, worth it, right? Going through the pain of being a logistics officer or anywhere in logistics. It's got it. Romero says, agree about Army marching. We can't march. The Marine Corps wrote the manual on marching. All you need to do is look at the Marine Corps silent drill team, unmatched in the world. Facts, not just talking trash now, but and being in ROTC, JROTC in that community, um, the, the Marine Corps does place such a huge emphasis on it starting in high school, and it just gets more intense all through boot camp. That's you remember boot camp, first phase, initial drill, and final drill, and how many hours and hours that go into that. And it's all for a reason. Discipline equals drill. Instant willing obedience to orders. Discipline is the foundation. Drill is the foundation of discipline. If you can't drill, it's because you have no discipline. If you have no discipline, you're not going to be a successful Marine. Not that the Army doesn't have discipline, but the Marine Corps fanatical about being Marines. And drill is a huge part of it. That's why enlisted, the drill instructors fight tooth and nail when the officers, these think tanks, these groups get together and say, we need to cut some hours out of boot camp. Let's take some time away from drill. That's the last place they should be taking time away from boot camp. Well, you just add more time for whatever class you want to insert in there, whatever new policy you want to implement. Don't take it away from drill. Part of the controversy during the crucible, that's 54 hours you ain't drilling. Guess what? you're still going to drill. Drill instructors make it happen, even when they add stuff and take time away from drill. You take time away from drill, the drill instructor is going to make it up in at night when you're going to now march. You're going to do column of files into the rain room to take a shower instead of just going in there because they've taken away stuff. So drill instructors are constantly having to adapt and overcome dumb rules. That last place I just worked at was the same thing. They apply some new, this is how I want to do it now. Ridiculous because they didn't ask any of the people that it's going to affect. So we have to adapt and overcome the dumb rule daily. Happen daily over there. Randall Knapp, no more stack arms or marching manual in boot camp now. Facts. Why did they get rid of stack arms? It was long and tedious. That's why. That was the answer I got from a drill master on the depot at the time that they got rid of stack arms. Funny because in ROTC, JROTC, I taught it just so they knew. I liked that movement. Took time, was hard to teach. It took a long time to teach it, but they should have never taken that out. It's important. What are you going to do? Lay them down? Now we're just laying them in the dirt. Still got to stack them. So I'm with you, Randall. All right, John McDuncan, Young Marine. Armandaris. I love being in the Young Marines, except the cemetery duty. Placing flags and wreaths on them gives me chills. How do I get over being uneasy? It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to honor those fallen. It's a mindset. It's not easy. I've been on funeral details, and that probably one of the hardest things I've ever done was being on a funeral detail, but honored at the same time. So it's you're giving back by doing that. So embrace it and know what it's all about, understand what it's all about. Take a name or two off of there and remember it and Google it later, find out who you did that for, and imagine the amount of gratitude that person and their family has for you being able to represent them like that. They're still part of us. So embrace it, embrace it. Let me see Blackpink's comment. My drone instructor almost broke me during the crucible. I was hard-headed for starting boot camp, but will forever be thankful for breaking me down and building me up to be a better version of myself. Amen. And it'll be worth it in the end. A lot of us um, are hard-headed, and drill instructors have a way with that. Bill Smith, Kelly OG husband, subbed also. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Awesome. Appreciate you. Kelly she's been an OG for us, and we're rooting for your son. Awesome. Appreciate you. Michael Romero, Mr. McJunkin. Placing flags on the cemetery for veterans is the most noble thing you can do. Stay with it, young devil dog. Thanks, Romero. My sentiments, exactly. You said it better than I did, but 100%. Come on, tell me that's not. And we've done it. I've taken the kids in Hawaii. They should do one boots around something. I don't remember what it was called. Red, white, blue is the organization that did it, and they lay out thousands of pair of boots that people would donate, and we put a flag in every single boot. Some of them had pictures, some had just names. On Pearl Harbor, it was Sand Island. And yeah, it was an honor. I'm telling you, to any opportunity you can to honor our fallen, embrace it. Drill teaches you the ability to follow simple instructions. It's amazing how many people I deal with, they don't have that simple skill. Amen. Lay cookie. Telling you, it's the foundation of life. It's discipline, the foundation. You can't build a house without foundation. It nails it. That's what drill is. Steve Walsh. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I visited my grandfather's grave. It was great. Embrace it. It again, I'm telling you, as many ceremonies. God bless you, Stephen. Appreciate you. Being a Marine, having the opportunities. I've never been at an INI station. They have the honor of doing stuff like that, because they're usually out in the middle of nowhere, being around a big military base. When I was stationed in Hawaii at the Marine Corps Air Station, we were we had a month that we had funeral detail. So during that month, if anyone needed us, they would call and say, "Hey, I got a funeral this time of day. Here's the details. Can you bring your funeral detail out?" And we would. I went to every one of them. It is 100% amazing. It gives you a feeling of embrace it. Just again giving back, honoring those who went before us. Some tough ones. I told a story about one of those. It was for a gunnery sergeant, deceased, and the flag normally goes to the spouse or the parents, depending on the age, if they're married or not. This one was different at the last minute. When I first got there and we got all the details, I had to be a part of this one because our colored detail, Stephen Chill, was a staff sergeant and the deceased was a gunner sergeant. You have to be equal or higher rank to deliver the flag. So the gunny, he said, "So Major, not only do we need you to go, but you have to present the flag." Absolutely. Last minute, the funeral detail guy, the funeral home guy at the last minute, he's like, "Hey, there's been a change. They want the flag delivered to the gunny's daughters, twin daughters." I was like, okay, not a big deal. Which ones are there? It's a big family, huge family, big Hawaiian family. He said, "Look, don't look now, but over your right shoulder, there's two little girls sitting in one chair together, twins, matching dresses. You can't miss them." So in a roundabout way, I didn't want to stare. I didn't want to make a big deal. We are getting ready. The Marines were getting in place. I look over, two 7 or 8 year old girls bawling already. Everyone there, the entire family was already crying, and we were just setting up. I was like, man, come on, serious, right? I had to find the era in me. And there's a saying that you have to say when you deliver it: "On behalf of the President of the United States and a grateful nation, please accept this token." You have to say it. Whole time I'm thinking as the ceremony's going, there's no way I'm not gonna say this to these little girls. And I was trying to come up with what am I gonna say? But what do you say to 8-year-old girls when everyone, them and everyone behind them is crying? And then the 21 gun salute happened. Oh, boom! That first round went off, scared the bejesus out of everybody. More crying, more outburst. It was horrible. Last one, the Marines folded it, they put the shell casings, boom, they gave it to me, and boom, boom, did a slow facing movement right to those girls. It was like a 10-foot walk. Bro, it took me, felt like an hour to get there. Heart's beating, right? Sweating. This is Hawaii, the family's still crying. And I get down on one knee and I'm like, no way. They're like uncontrolled. Like they can't even catch their breath and they spin the flag and put it on their laps and I'm holding the flag and their leg like they're shaking and I'm just like, "We miss your father. He was a guy." I don't even remember what to this day. I don't remember what I said, but nothing what I was supposed to. But we love you. God bless you and your family. And I don't know. Got up, did the slow salute, and then my eyes all welled up, with a lump in my throat. Man, just was able to finally take away. So, but what a huge honor at the end of the day, an honor to be a part of that. And like what he's saying, a great ceremony. People want to, and they want to talk to the Marines, and they want us to just say thank you for doing it. It is pretty amazing. Shortly after that, we were geared up, packed up, ready to go, and another family stopped us. Army family said, "Our funeral detail didn't show up. Would you guys mind? Could you do another funeral detail?" Of course, 100%, absolutely. The most grateful family, Army family. We are honored to be able to do that as well. So embrace it. Embrace it. Great topic, everyone. I do funerals every month for our veterans here in New Mexico, says Romero. Per Army Regulation 670 TAC 1, wearing of the Army uniform. I still fit in my blues, so it's something I wear every month. Awesome. Michael, good on you, brother. I'm telling you, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to do that. Steve Walsh says, "We got you guys. I know those involuntary emotions." Yeah, I'm telling you. It's tough. Cadet Hatcher. Sergeant Major, JRTC unit is extremely good at drill and manual of arms. I'd like to see that. Probably way I feel intimidated by it. Probably why I feel intimidated by it. I do my best, but just not good at advice. Practice, 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 and more practice. Perfect practice. So make sure somebody watches you. Here's what happens with drill and spending the, especially the expedition, and they like to spin and do all that weird stuff. That's not close order drill, but that's impressive also. You have to practice perfectly. You don't want to, what I noticed when I got to different Jared TC units, they were real good. This one unit, my last job, they were great at change step. They were great at doing change step wrong. Every one of them did it perfectly together and it looked good, but it was wrong. It was taught wrong. They didn't know, it wasn't their fault, and they practiced it over and over and over wrong. So practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So, and you got to get on it. If you don't, obviously you shouldn't have a rifle at home, but get something similar. You can buy wood rifles. They have drill rifles. You can order one or make one, right? Some PVC pipe, and I say PVC pipe instead of wood because you can fill it up with something, cap it so it's the weight of a rifle, and you get used to the weight moving it around. Practice in front of a mirror. Practice mirror somebody, whoever's best at drill. Just say after school, can you 10 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes? Can you just watch my right shoulder arm, see if I'm doing it? Make sure you get the movements correctly. Because at the end of the day, you can get your rifle from order arms to right shoulder number of ways. The outcome is still the same, but you have to do the correct steps in order for it to be good drill. So practice. That's best advice I can give you. Perfect practice. Get after it. And you got to love it. Here's what I found out too. Not every cadet I trained, not every recruit I trained, I never understood it. It was hard for me to admit, but they didn't always love drill as much as I do. So like I had to tone it back a lot of times. And my first JRTC unit, we killed it. We swept every drill after the first year. It took me a year. After that first year, we swept every single drill event we went to. But it took a while, and it took them to want to be there, to want to. They, they'll never love it as much as I do, but they definitely can tell the difference between someone who's out there to drill, gets it, enjoys it, and someone who loves it. Definitely ask the better cadets to help you out because they live and breathe and practice. Annie Banani is proof. Let me tell you how fanatical Annie Banani was about drill, which ultimately got her the commander champion in the nation, right? Her unit was national champions in the entire nation. And she got second place national commander of the hundreds of thousands of cadets, number two commander. And her unit was the national champs. But here's how fanatical she was. It's like you see movies and shows where a kid is learning to play the tuba and you hear the tuba, you're like, good God, I could shut the door when you play the tuba 10 or 10 or 15 miles down the road. That's how Annie was with drill constantly. Her stomping, boom, 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 walking everywhere she walked, everywhere she marched. I'm sure silently she did it in her head. When we walked to the truck, she would do a facing movement and a column half left to get there. She would watch film, but not just her units drill. I'm talking when she was on her phone late at night, I'd be like, get off your phone. Don't waste your time and your life away on your phone. Get back on your phone because she's watching drill. She's looking how to get her unit better, how to get herself better. The best critic is yourself. And she was watching, like, oh, why did I do that? Man, next time, right? Making mental notes, watching over and over. She put up on the big screen, watching drill, any opportunity she had, where there's times where like quit, stop. And she didn't injure her knee. She was on the verge of injuring her knee from practicing so much because she practiced twice a day every day at school and on the weekends. Summer breaks, are just constant. So yes, live it, learn it, love it, breathe it every day. Black Pink says, me and my friends made a homemade rifle from planks of wood during the weekend so we can practice drill in the mirror. Best thing about boot camp is everyone will be there for you to help you regardless. The drill instructors love to help you. Get it? You've seen Full Metal Jacket. But seriously, you handle your rifle so much in boot camp that you're only going to get better. So do that now, and that's perfect. You see those wood rifles, right? And you can buy the drill ones. You can buy weighted. You can buy different weights to make sure that it's similar to a rifle. Got it. Nobody learns drill like drill while they. Nobody learning drill likes drill while we're learning it. We love it later when we shine and understand it. Same in boot camp or those Sundays, Sunday afternoon in the summer on the parade deck at MCRD San Diego was brutal. Taking first place in drill, final drill, all worth it. It definitely is worth it. Okay, one more question. How seriously should we consider a sharp knife? How beautiful, beneficial is a sharp knife? Depends on what you need it for. They, they are sharp. Drill, instant willing obedience to orders. This has been great. StreamYard, let us know in the comments if you like StreamCar. StreamYard, we're gonna land this helicopter right after David Bryant. You have to, oh yes, David, I got you. As soon as we land this helicopter, appreciate everyone being here. Was that a quick 2 hours? Yes, it was. Holy cow. Simplify, my friends. God bless you all. Hurrah.